That's about the best I can get you for the sunset. Yeah, near as I can figure, that'll be in at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Frickin' bugs. And I don't want it sitting here for an hour or two. So it's going to get shut off, and I'll turn it back on in the morning. And when it gets in, well, maybe we'll move it, maybe we won't. We may just go a day without. But one thing I can tell this evening, one thing, the little traveler, it was in at 4 o'clock or so, I guess, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. So it's been turned off. And I didn't notice a whole lot of extra oomph out of this one. But now that it's cooled off a bit, it's like 83 degrees or something, 9:45 at night. It's just damn near getting over to the creek, and I got it laid out on an angle. The hose actually went out on an angle this way, but when it was at the far end, where it would be closest to the creek down there, it was only shooting about in there, and now it's hitting clear over here. So that's what happens with electric motors when it gets a little cooler, and even though people got their air conditioners going. And sorry about the camera wiggling. I have about 4 bugs trying to crawl in my eyeballs and bounce off my face. But anyway, yeah, you get better power when it cools off, and everything just works better. But unfortunately, when we got to run it, we got to run it. And I'm sure I'll be out here in the dark hooking pipe back up, because they're going to bump it and unhook something. But I'd rather do that than sink to China when I come down here in the morning. I'm a little slow this morning. It's 5 o'clock. I wanted to be down here earlier, but you know, that's why I shut it off last night, because I knew I wasn't going to be out at 3 to do it, or 2:30. But hey, look, the moon. Ah, there it is. It's hiding behind the branch. And focus. That's not where the sun ends. The sun's over there. Well, it'll come up over there, I should say. But you know how I like to get the reflection. I gotta get water going so I can get out of here. Cut some hay. Well, I made it up here. Made me a couple rounds. There's a few spots in that one guy. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. For some reason, the 10 spots, like we've had trouble this year. And of course, being oats, you know, it gets knocked before it gets all the way there. It snaps off wherever it snaps off, and you don't get it. If it wasn't so dry, it'd be better. And there is some green here and there still. Freaking 100-degree days don't help keep any of that in, but still some green oats. And actually quite a few, well, most of it really. After it's gone through the conditioner, there's a green tint to what you wouldn't think would be green at all. Definitely not as far along as I wanted it for hay, but what we're going to do. And I should have got a little shot of this earlier. Ashburn Park's over here at Haggis Tree Farm. And they park those for the night with all the boots up in the air, so nobody messes with stuff, you know. There's a single note right there that didn't cut off. Don't understand why. And if you remember when we planted this a couple years ago, we were kind of in a hurry. And there's some few gophers in here. That'd be from the gophers. And right there's where the loggers came in. I haven't seen anybody up here, but well, right here. There's actually about every 40 feet wide, and part of that they wiped out. For the most part, it's at least, I think probably the skinniest part they wiped out is 20 feet. And go all the way over about the little screen over there. Got quite a bit knocked down through here. I don't know how far down they're going. Really can't tell what they got without walking down in there. Hey, here's the deal. We rent this. By law, anybody that's out here is trespassing. In many cases, that could include the landowner. Because, guess what? They legally don't have possession of it. You know, until they kick us off the ground or whatever. That over there ain't mine to walk on. Now, granted, you know, if I get a sudden cut ink and gotta go for a walk in the woods, yes, I will. And they screwed up more here. I don't know why they had to drive out in the field. Excuse me, makes no sense to me. Sorry about that. I was on the microphone with that one. Pretty good log deck right over there. And the road goes down way beyond where I can see. So, I just don't know. Try to get a hold of them boys, explain the facts of life to them. Because number one, they never notified me that they were going to come through here. And number two, it wasn't theirs to cross without permission. And the only bad thing is, if we've reworked our contracts in the last 10 years, we've had this for 30 or 40 years. Our new contracts state that if there's going to be anything that they do that affects the field, they have to notify us ahead of time. Because most times, I mean, you know, we've got people that, oh, well, we want to have a wedding in our house, and we want real good parked cars. What are you going to do it? You know? One gal, well, we're going to do it by July 10th. It's been quite a few years ago. Okay. It was oat crop that was really, really awesome. And we needed some hay. We were going to leave it for grain, but we needed some hay. So we took it off for hay. Had it all off by July 4th. Field was skinned out closer than this. You know, that worked out. We'll work with people. But when you don't see a damn thing, and if I don't happen to catch the loggers on this one, the landowner's going to get a note in with their rent check. It's going to be a deduction. And I know they're not going to like it, but I also don't like the fact that last year, you know, they talked us into paying more rent. And in the way it's worked, we didn't get a drop off at all last year. So, this is some expensive hay. 2 years worth of rent. Oh well. And on these nice fields that are following, it's actually not just the tree line, that's the edge that drops off. I straightened them out, didn't say they want to plant. You notice, I'm crawling on this ground. I usually try to get it all straightened out and the outside couple rounds. Simply because it is so much nicer not to keep turning the wheel. And the more you turn the wheel, the better chance you got of messing something. But yeah, and it's after 7 now. I turned the AC on a half an hour ago. I actually turned the AC on at the house before 6 o'clock. So I turned it on before I left. After I got irrigation back on. Which, yeah, I had the primer on. And a little pump, the suction fucked up. I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff, so I know we're going to make some crap in there. Go figure. As long as the big pump is pumping good, it's fine. So we got to deal with it. So, to obviously talk way too long. I won't be to the farm for another hour, hour and a half, but get a hold of her when she gets around and have her come up and run. I'll get the back swath. And there's a little patch across the road she doesn't want to do. I don't blame her, it's pretty steep. I mean, she rakes it. She's worked around, but she doesn't want to be on there with this. No biggie. But all she'll have the easy part of this, actually, because the other side of the house, I think this is my last pass into there. I'll get in there and finish it up over here. And then the neck, which is through there, it'll be down to nothing. And yeah, try to make a corner like that, because I noticed turning that, we're missing stuff. Oh yeah, green spot in the middle of the street. That hill is the hill across from our shop. And that's another one, we still gotta go bail. That's that steep sucker that I cut a while back on the other side of that hill. And there's green up here. Really, I wouldn't mind it if the whole field had some of that in it. That is a really, really, really thick crop of wild radish. It's in the legume family. It makes great feed. Never the damn crop ground, but it makes great feed. So now you know where their septic system is. Well, I've been relieved. It's 8:30. I went across the road and got that little patch down, and right when I finished there, I got a text from her. Of course, she has bad horizon. So, yeah, that just means that texts are really slow. I pulled up back out on the road, and she come around the corner right behind me. So, look, we still own a combine. She's got a few hours left here. Sorry, trying to find my keys. Kind of need them to get back into here. Not that I don't trust anybody, it's just that you never frickin' know. Had enough weird things. If I push the button, I can open the back door, right? Had enough weird things happen up here before. You know, stolen cars, whatever else. Hey, while we're here, yeah, it's still alive. Tires are still up. Header's still here. It won't move. It's got a leak in the hydros. Critters have been into it. Expect that. There's so many freaking great acres up here. And she's got a leaky up there, and you got to damn near rebuild the whole hydro to fix it. So it sets. I mean, it's fine all season when we're running it, but when it sets too long, then there's not enough oil in it. Anyway, I still got a lot of stuff to cover today, and I already got a lot of video. There you go, Brent. Here's your Ruby. I'm not real sure why she's the only one I see. They were all over in there when I pulled the traveler out of down here. And I come back and she was standing over here where the traveler was. I don't know. They've either gone in the barn or they're around the corner in the trees. Bam Bam's group is all up in the barns. And I just finally got that traveler. It wasn't in when I got back. So finally got it going. And obviously water's flying because the little one's right there going now. I just got to go check the big one and see how Ty's doing. So Ty gave me a call right when I got done getting the traveler moved. She says there's vehicles parked over here in the tall grass along the edge of the field. And one backed into their dirt road. See if they're actually in the tall grass or what, but hopefully maybe it's the loggers and I can have a little chat with them. We're going to find out here in a minute. Well, there's Ruby again, yet and still. She's been hanging down there in the shade. The others are straight back. They're not in the barn. And can't see Bam's group from here, but they're out there now. But it was time to drop a bale for Dino's group. And I got to talk to the loggers up there. I surprised one of them this morning before 6 o'clock. He says, yeah, I'm skidding, and I look up and a tractor went by. I never saw him. He was down below me in the trees. But the management company that is dealing with that, they told him they talked to me and it was fine because we weren't going to cut that piece. I got that guy's number, by the way. I'm going to tell him that's fine. He gets to pay our rent this year on that piece. So anyway, I'm stalling because she's on the phone. That and Ruby, right? I got to keep Brent happy. Ruby and Red helping Ty here. And I got to wait for Ty so I can get out the gate anyway. I'll see how bad the fad noise is on the audio. Probably screwing it up good. That's the piece we got after a neighbor passed away. His wife was, here, you can use this, take it. Had to move a bunch of stuff over there to get to it, but that's plenty big. I'm debating on what to do. Do I make a round piece? Do I make a square piece? And how do I hold it in? I haven't figured that out yet. One thing I think I have pretty much figured out, though, the only way, could happen when you're short, the only way we're going to get it in there is to take that off. And that really sucks. And then I had another thought. I don't know if it's any good or not. I got to take this off anyway. Pull the shroud. And, it's pretty thin. I'm not overly enthused about that. But I pull the shroud and just weld to it, because this piece will help stiffen it. Shouldn't be a whole lot of vibration. I'm cutting a 16-inch hole out of the middle of it, and this is at 25 inches, so it's just going to be, so much. It might actually be the quickest and easiest and the best way. I don't think that, that fan's balanced in it. I just test ran it and it runs sweet. So it's not really an issue that way. The biggest issue is getting into the bolts. And I don't know how many are there. I would imagine there's at least 3 or 4, which is going to be fun to do, and then getting it back on. But it might be the thing we do. And I can mount the electrical crap right here, which part of the power is going to come right off that switch probably, but I still gotta, I guess we gotta run something off ignition. And there's really nothing back here that runs off the ignition except for the fuel pump on the other side. And it's a long ways to go that way, and I've already got to run wires up there unless I put a switch back here, because I want to put a reverser on it. What the plan was, so you can sit in the seat, shut it off, wait a minute so it stops, and then hit reverse, so all the shit that's on the screen, that screen, just give it a puff to blow it off. Even if I just shut it off, I'll do it. We've done that for years, just shut the key off and 90% of it falls off. But it's still spending too much time with it rolling around in my head, driving me crazy. And Becky got the tractor book and the baler book all, I guess that's just the tractor book. We already had the baler book out here. That would be the service manual for the 3394. And I think I've about had it. It's 90 something. I left half an hour ago to go home and check out a new calf. That's what Maury called her about earlier. So she's doing that. They didn't expect that cow to calve for another week or so. So it may be a little early, maybe not. But say that's what I know, which isn't a lot. And the other pain in the, I guess, that isn't as bad as I was thinking. Take this hose off right here, And there's an exhaust clamp right there that holds that tube. Take that clamp loose and it'll swing out of the way. Well, maybe that's what I'll do. I really didn't want to make a mess. It'd be nice to have everything I need to get the air conditioning working while I'm here too. I got to looking at this and I don't think it broke. It's just bent down. I don't think there's any holes anywhere. I think what happened, this is the hose that goes on it, and it just got shoved over here, and it's just shoved in there so it ain't dragging on the ground. I think what happened was it got drug on the ground. Or the belts could have took it out. I don't know. I still gotta take that stuff off too. But I think those hoses, when that gets redone, they are going to go in a different spot than there. Because that's just not where they should be. Laying over the top of that's not the best either, but that's where they're probably going to be. Won't be a belt in the way. Won't have to worry about that. So anyway. And of course, like I said, I got to figure the wiring out. Comes with there's a 30 amp inline fuse, and there's a 30 amp breaker. And it uses a relay, which you want off the relay anyway. But it's kind of interesting that there's both. I think maybe the fuse actually goes to the, no, it's fused into the breaker. So there's the fuse. That's your power, or not the breaker, the relay. It's fused into the relay. And then that should be a 30 amp breaker. And probably not going to use that. I'll mark for what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be on at 200 degrees and off at 180, I think. Something like that. And Piper Doug called me out on it the other night. When I said what I seen, they said just flip the fan over. Well, I didn't finish. I didn't read this at all at that point. And I wondered, the reason you turn the fan over on this one is it's got the S-shaped blades. So they're a directional. I mean, it'll blow air the other way, just not very well. And the reason you flip it over, the way this sits right now, fan turns this way and it draws air this way. But if you want to put it like on the front of the radiator and push air through it, turn the blade over and then switch the wires. So, and I'm going to call it the end of the video because I think I'm going to call it a day. Ty finished that piece up before lunch, and so I had a chat with the loggers, and we're good there. I just got to get a hold of the management guy and say hey. And I'm figuring it's at least a 30-foot strip. That's 3 passes. So, you know, I'm guessing there's going to be 4 or maybe 5 bales in that we're not going to get. That's just my guess. You know, maybe only 3, I don't know. And tell him what I think they're worth, and tell him there's a little penalty on that for not letting me know they were going to be in there at all to begin with, and especially when he told the loggers that he talked to me and it was fine. We just go around the edge of the field. I ain't never talked to the man that I know of, and I know I haven't talked to him recently if I ever have. So maybe tell him it's kind of like cutting timber. You cross the line, it's triple stumpage. So if there's 3 bales, you're going to buy 6. We'll know what there is when we go out there, whatever the hell comes up beside that stretch. So, and like I told the loggers, at least you got that piece of shit tree out of the way that was a big chunk kept falling off of it. Half alive, but, you know, too rotten toward the trunk and trying to live at the end and keep growing out until they fall off. Anyway, hope everybody had a great Thursday. Hope you'll have a great Friday. And thanks for watching and listening to me babble.